block with the chopstick. No, I'm not Blueface. But niggas know I mop shit. Blah, 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 cause he talking out. Blah, 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 he ain't walking out. Just the other day, another nigga I was marking out. Uzi on demand, we ain't never gotta talk it out. Baby, what you asking, what's your question? I'm dangerous in the field and I love wearing fashion. Tusi get it crockin' if another homie lacking. F&N lay him down or he tracking. Same nigga dissing on the neck, say he ramping. I go on a murder spree like Manson. Chopper hit a nigga arm, leg, now he dancing. Put a nigga on 1,000,000 hits, now he trending.
I don't trust no mark, no hoe, no bop, no op, no bitch, no blop blop. I get in that mode so fast, on his ass for the cop, don't make me hit you with the blop blop way.
What's the good old big deal with the good old people, man? It's your boy Young and Hefe. Don't care about number what the check say. Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe because it don't cost you nothing to press that button. And if you ring that notification bell, I'm going to bring you mail. What's the good old big deal with the good old people, man? It's Hot Topics with your boy Young and Hefe. And I'm here to deliver you another one like the other one. The recipient of Hot Topics is Ab God. Ab God from New York, myself, and the DC Blacks. This takes place when I reached Atwater, California. So I told my last story I told as far as federal mischief or squabbles was with Loft from out of the coasts. So this is when I got to Atwater, right? But I had been on the yard about like almost 2 years at this time. So, you know, I'm skipping a bit with stories, you know what I'm saying? We just waving in between, you know what I'm saying? When it come to me and I feel like telling them, I'm going to bring it to you, you know what I'm saying? So that's how we going to kick this off and do this. So at this time in Atwater, I'm on I think I'm like on B6 if I serve myself correct or whatever. However, at this time, right, this is my second time in this unit. Prior to that, I think I was in B4 prior to that. Went to the hole for a little situation that I'm going to explain later. After I get out the hole, I wind up back in B6. B6 was a block that was all the intake, all the new fish coming off the bus, and all the shoe in our hole kickouts. So I'm in this unit. By this time, I've already politicked with the staff and administration and made them place a Crip TV in this unit, as well as place microwaves and other amenities that this unit didn't have. Being that it was a shoe kickout and people fresh off the bus, they really didn't care and didn't cater to this unit. So it wasn't that many TVs in that unit versus other unit that might have had like 8 TVs. This unit originally had about like 5 TVs and stuff like that. And just when that unit was back open from whenever it was closed, first come, first serve. Dudes came in there and got they feeling. There wasn't no Crips in that unit at that time, or the dudes that was didn't press no line, so we didn't have a TV in that unit. And when I first came to Atwater in that unit, we had went back and forth with the Bay Area over this TV, and the Bay Area was an alliance of ours. But you know how it go when you don't got your own, so it was times in that unit where the Bay Area rotated and went to other units and wasn't in that unit no more, and it was just Crips in that unit. And you know how people get territorial. But with the good man, you know, we kept the alliance intact. And hey, man, that's their TV. We welcome to watch. When they not in here, we gonna keep Oos on the TV just like we expect them to keep Oos with ours, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying, hog the TV when they people come in the door and not let them know it's a Bay Area TV. Moving along. So I'm back in this unit. When I get in this unit, it's the 5 TVs. No microwave. I'm telling y'all how it was when I first arrived to this prison. They still had it in this condition after 2 years. So I get in there, and once they tell me I'm going to stay in this unit, I start pressing a line, a political line, right on the administration. Like, look, this how it's supposed to be. If it's not, then basically it's going to be a problem. But, you know, I have 101, not 101s, but I had conversations face to face with these people with homies around, because you got to take a homie with you to hear this. If you're not taking a homie, then you doing something you got no business doing. So I've been on them like, hey, look, man, this is how I go. There's other people in here, and unless y'all trying to start something and y'all trying to make people take people TVs and pitch the odds against odds and stuff like that, hey, fine. But I wasn't going to go at no other blacks behind no TV unless they was foul. You have some cards in the feds that's not checking paperwork, and if they think they're going to be just lounging up watching TV, and the Crips, who are instrumental factor up in that Fed and press a hard line, don't got no TV, ain't no way, man. Look, the killer whales out here, you shark bait, you know what I'm saying, straight up. So I'm politicking with the staff. I get the TVs in there, get the microwave in there, get the washer machines in there. Once they put all that in there, they come back like, hey, look, we gave you everything. We ain't trying to hear nothing else. We not sending you back to B4. I couldn't understand for the life of me why they didn't want to send me back to that unit for whatever reason. But it's all good. You know how I go. People talk. Somebody could have probably got out the counselor, case manager, like, hey, don't let him get in that. Don't let him come back down here. It was a lot that went on in that unit. I had a lot of history in that unit. You know what I'm saying? Which the reason why I went to the hole. But as I said, we're going to get back to that. So, BA. It was a guy named Abgar from New York. Abgar was Muslim. You know what I'm saying? And Abgar was somebody who worked in Common Fare. Common Fare was a place in the kitchen that you would want to be, because you got all the kosher diets, all the good stuff, all the packs of, whether it was sardines, whether it was fresh catch tuna, whether it was oysters, you know what I'm saying? The amenities that some of these commissary yards don't have, Common Fare had, and you can get that, you know what I'm saying, for a nice price. So Abgar, his backstory, he's out of Brooklyn, New York, and Abgar was supposed to be somebody up out of Brooklyn. And I think Abgar was from like out of Brownville, probably about like the same spot that Mike Tyson is out of. Abgar had a reputation when he was on the streets. You know, he was getting money, you know what I'm saying? He was in the thick of the streets and things like that. You know, he had barbershops amongst other stuff. And as well, Abgar was somebody who was beefing with Young World. You know what I'm saying? Young World was like another goon, stick-up kid type dude from out of New York. You know what I'm saying? And people probably have seen him famously for the picture he took with Lil Kim. I could have pulled the picture up. Didn't feel the need to pull the picture up. If you furthermore want to pull the picture up to capitalize on the imagination of where I'm taking you in this story, then go ahead. But Abgar and World had this beef, and I want to say allegedly that these guys had a 2 shootout. I don't remember what the feud was about, but both of these guys was Titans out of the area of New York. Abgar catch an indictment which landed him in the feds, and he had been down for some time and had been to a few yards. I don't remember every yard that he walked, but me and his conversation begun in B8. I've seen Abgar around on the compound beforehand. When I was in B4, he was in B3. B3 was a program, you know what I'm saying? What program was that in B3? That was called the Challenge Program. The Challenge Program, you know what I'm saying, helped you get time off. You go do a 6-month course, do booklets, essays like that, go to groups, talk about things, fears you overcome, negativities you overcome, the positive person you became, and stuff like that. However, Abgar got kicked out of that unit. Abgar got kicked out of that unit because Abgar had a fight with a DC guy. So Abgar ended up in B8. I end up in B8. We never really spoke to each other. We just kind of acknowledged each other, you know what I'm saying, what's up, nodded heads and stuff like that. Until one day, you know, Ab God pulled up on me like, hey, man, what's up, my guy, man? Hey, you know, I've been seeing you, man. You feel me? Hey, you Crip, right? I'm like, yeah. He like, man, you know my guy Low with the dreads, man? I'm like, yeah, that's my guy. He like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Whoop, whoop. So that's how we initially get talking. The homie Low was from UG. Me and the homie Low had the yard at Atwater on that side of the yard. And Low was in the challenge program. Low had originally started out in B8 with me. Once he found out about the challenge program, he like, I'm about to get in this challenge program, do this 6 months, points drop, get back to a medium, going about my business. Me and Ab guy start rapping about me and Low relationship and him and Low relationship. And he was like, yeah, man, my boy Low used to tell me about you. You know, you was next door in B4. You and him had the yard. I'm like, yeah, for sure. So Ab guy was like, man, you know, I see you be busting down, man. You be on your little health thing and you stay cooking. He like, I'm common fare. I'm head of common fare. You know, I got the tuna, I got the oysters, I got all the stuff that is not on the commissary. Tuna was on the commissary, but they had a different type of special tuna. You know, they got them different tunas now. Got the bluefin tuna, fresh catch, so on and so on. Oysters, they didn't have oysters at this spot. Every spot in the feds don't have oysters. So he like had access to oysters, baby clams, all the exclusive fish that people on the compound will want. So I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. So I'm like, what you charging? So he like, wooty whoop. So in the feds on the yard, money on the yard is stamps. Stamps is the economy. People like stamps. Stamps is the bankroll. Whether you hit a ticket, you betting, whatever the case is, you win in books of stamps, flats of stamps. And on different yards, they're higher. Some yards are low, depending on what yard you own, what's going on, depending on what the economy is. Feds crazy work, man. I'm telling you. You will have about, man, 1,000 flat books, bro. It feel like $1 million up in that joint. You know what I'm saying? Like you own, for real, for real. And people have more than that. I'm just saying, just throwing 1,000 out there. You know, the ticket mans, they got to have 10,000 books and stamps and stuff like that, and got to worry about getting searched and hit by the police and things like that. So, however, that's how me and Ab got relationship formed, you know what I'm saying? Because we had been on the yard and he was messing with my guy Low, you know what I'm saying? And he was in common fare. And I mean, you know, common fare is somebody that you would want to have in the pocket, as well as who else in that kitchen you want to have in your pocket? The person that work in the spot that's called the ODM that cooks for the staff. They bringing all the exclusive stuff out the kitchen. So our relationship take place, and over the time of our relationship and us chopping it up, we got to chopping it up about views, you know, boxing, squabbling, the streets, his lifestyle, my lifestyle, where I'm from, where he from. So sometimes I would go post with him in front of his door, you know, chop it up with him and stuff like that. And, you know, occasionally he would come down to about a Crib TV and sit kind of like off in a secluded area, but in our area, and watch TV and stuff like that. Other than that, he kicked it by his door, you know what I'm saying? Stayed by his door. Really didn't mess with nobody, didn't talk to too many people. So it was other New York guys in there, and they used to deal with them, you know what I'm saying? Chop it up with them here and there and go on about their business and stuff like that. So one day, man, out the blue, it's going around on the yard that Ab God supposedly is bad and supposed to told on somebody. So I have been hearing this, right? And I really didn't pay it no mind, because I'm like, how he been on the yard this long and his paperwork wasn't checked? But being that, I want to say Ab God was a Sunni Muslim, and I don't want to say the Sunni imam or the Sunni community on that yard wasn't checking paperwork, but amongst me and Ab God talking and doing business, Ab God did the honorable thing that you do in the feds and handed me his paperwork, which it was a stack. He like, hey bro, this is me right here, woo woo. And with that, I went to my cell. I didn't get no whole stack like him. I cut right to the chase. When it got my PSI and my plea agreement, and gave it to him and said, "This is me." I scanned through his paperwork, looked for what I needed to see, returned him his paperwork in a few days. He scanned through mine, returned mine when I returned his. That was that. We continued the business. So when I heard that he was telling, I'm like, what? Like, man, that's false, bro. But I really didn't want to be apprehensive and get too much into it because it wasn't really my politics. But I know I have read this man's paperwork. So amongst that, the New York dudes start shifting back from me. Ain't dealing with him. A dude in the unit that was named Polo. I don't know, Polo was like from out of like Long Island somewhere or something. It was like another guy named Keys in the unit. I forgot which part of New York Keys was from. They gradually backed up from him. Keys pulled me to the side one time like, "Hey, bruh, what's up? Ooh, we chopping it up about something." And I brought it up like, "Hey, bro, what's up with y'all? Why y'all being funny with Ab God, bro? Like, woo, like you was like dude, little mans." Keys like, "Man, hey, man, tomorrow this like some work. Like, man, woo." I'm like, "Bro, you seen it?" He like, "Man, I got it." So I'm like, what's going on? So he like something, it was like some crazy stuff going on that had something to do with a transsexual or transvestite that was in jail. Basically a man that was trying to do a switch change. I don't know if they had a beef or had a fight or something had happened, something had got witnessed. Man, look, it was crazy. Like, it was like some jailhouse stuff mixed with some street stuff. But the Keys dude gave me some paperwork, and the paperwork he gave me I had never seen. I don't know what New York state paperwork looked like because all paperwork don't look like the same. The feds paperwork going to be different from the state, and different states paperwork going to have different seals and documents on there. So when I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, okay. So I take that up to Ab God. Like, "Hey, bro, I know I already read your paperwork, dude, saying you all bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is the work." I've got to look like, man, this BS. He like, "Look, come here." He like, "I got some state work from New York too. This was state work look like from New York. Whoever did this, somebody made this up. This ain't the real deal." Take this back to Keys. Like, "Look, man, I just looked at some paperwork from New York versus that, and they like really not identical, but you know, it's a good put together. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely damn good. If you don't know, he'd be in trouble with some dudes from Cali or a different state that don't know how that paperwork look and don't know what to look for as far as the seals and stuff." So that cancels that out, but the New York dudes, Polo and Keys, they still keeping their distance from him or whatever. I think Keys was kind of like, he was the younger of Polo. Polo was around like Ab God age, and Polo, you know, he had that, you know, that broad, you know what I'm saying, bully, you know what I'm saying, mentality, so he was trying to hold steadfast. Keys kind of like let up some and was dealing with Ab God. You know, I continued my dealings with him because I already had seen his work. Now, somehow, I don't know what happened in the Muslim community, but you had a few dudes that was from D.C. that was also, to a degree, I'm going to say straddling the fence because they was doing D.C. stuff and D.C. business, and they was also in Muslim stuff, and they was the ones that went to the Muslims and had the Muslims press the line and was like, "This Ab God need to get up out of here. He bad. His paperwork on him." And I think that they didn't like that he was dealing with me and dealing with other dudes as far as that common fare, and they couldn't really get their hands on it. So the ones in my unit, they was politicking. So it was one, Kofi, and Wink. I want to say, if I served myself correct, they was the ones on bullshit, and they was the ones that was trying to get on it. So Kofi was the one really headlining, and Spink and Wink was an OG that had been down for some years from DC, that was quiet, pushed the knife, but you know he's a real DC, he's gonna push with his homie. So whatever Kofi was on, he was on type stuff, and Kofi didn't like Ab God. Now Ab God was a person I heard to have like cold hands. They got like some type of little fighting style out of New York, and they was like, he was basically the grandmaster of this fighting style. You know what I'm saying? That he knew it, knew the breakdown. You know what I'm saying? So being that Polo used to always talk that talk, that was the other New York dude, how he whooped stuff and how he had knocked stuff out and he's a bruiser and this and that. I was wondering why he never won that Ab God, but he was trying to stand on this mantra that Ab God was all bad. But if somebody from your car is all bad, or somebody that you was dealing with is all bad, you're supposed to remove them. And even though Ab God was on Muslim time, you dealt with him on New York time. So I don't even really think the Muslims probably wouldn't even got in that situation if they did have a scrimmage. But I think that Polo didn't want to lose to Ab God, so he never broached that situation. DCs, they go tell whenever they tell the Muslims, hey, we about to move on Ab God, y'all bad, we got the paperwork on them, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why the Muslims didn't press the line on the DC dudes. I guess they looked at the paperwork and was like, all right, like basically we ain't got to clean it up, but Muslim blood is supposed to be sacred, so even still in that, y'all supposed to handle that. But I want to say Kofi might have been a Muslim too as well, so that's what I'm saying. It was funny with certain games with certain DC dudes, not all of them, but certain ones was like Muslim and was like in Muslim business and still in DC business, and it's like you can't be in the two. It's like pick one. So Ab God get word from one of his good brothers in the Muslim community like, hey, look, they about to get you in a unit, they gonna hit you. Ab God like, all right. He get up out of common fair early, get back to the unit, you know, go in there, do his thing, you know, grab his strap, you know, get in front of his cell, you know, got his chair in front of the cell door chilling. I come up in there, it's yard recall, people coming up in there. Ab God called me over there, hey man, I got some stuff for you, man. Man, you know, I got you, man. It's on me on the house, bro. You know, at the count, man, come over here and holler at your God, man. Come holler at your boy. I'm like, bet for sure. You know, I got the free, you know what I'm saying? Get down for sure. Big rice fry bowls up. We go in there, clear count. Count clear. I come out. I kind of forgot I was supposed to been going to him. He made sure I got to him. Hey, Ant. Called me over there. I go over there. Go to his door, you know what I'm saying? He bring a chair out. Bring the second chair out. Man, sit down, man. Let me holler at you. So I'm like, all right, bet. We sit down, we get to rapping. So I was going downstairs to take my MP3 player. I see the homies, because where his cell was at, you could look down and our TV was right there. I put this on the charger for me. Throw my MP3 player down. Man, Ab God start rapping. Whole time, the DC dudes that I named was supposed to got on him right at the count. But now that I'm over there in front of the door, they don't want to pull up on him. Ab God watching, he's watching them as he's talking to me and explaining. You know me. If you don't know me, I'm definitely an observer, so I'm catching on to the tension. I'm reading the room in the building, and it just ain't looking right. I'm wondering why these DC dudes keep rubbernecking, and they keep coming up the tier, then looking, and then, you know, posting, and neither one of them lived upstairs, and they posting right there in the spot, and they talking to each other and looking our way, but not trying to make it suspicious because they don't want to alarm me. So once I see all this going on, I'm like, hey, man, what's the deal? What's up with these DC dudes? Bro, woo. Ab God like, hey, bro, check it out. Come in the cell. I spent in the cell with him. He like, hey, look, I'm going to keep it real with you, bro. He's like, look, you seen my paperwork, bro. You know that little BS they've been trying to come up with this fake paperwork. I don't know what they had told the community, but them DC dudes right there, they on bullshit, you feel me? They trying to get on me. You feel me? And, you know, I respect you, bro. And on some man shit, I called you over here because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to handle the situation and buy myself some time. And I knew that you was a smoke screen. They wasn't going to pull up on you because they don't want to come at me and you be caught up in a scrimmage. And now that brings the wrath of the Crips, and it's not that many DCs on that yard. You know what I'm saying? Although they going to do their stuff and handle their business, there's not many of them on the yard to be going at it with y'all. So he like, bro, you seen my work, bro. So I'm kind of like feeling played, but I understand them, and I also know how the DC get down too. And then this Kofi dude already had a situation with him, so I think me and him had kind of had a dislike for each other. But on man time, just keeping it respectful, we dealt with each other. So when Ab God tell me that, I'm like, man, say less, man. I got you, bro. As long as you feel me, we out here and it's in the open, I'm going to move with you. If they press play and you buy me, I got you. He like, man, good looking, bro. I appreciate you, man. He gave me, man, like a whole laundry bag just like full of fish. Like, man, That's on the house, bro. You know you genuine, bro. I ain't trying to bring you in my situation, but bro, you see my work is BS. So, you know, we post right there the whole day, like the whole night. He make it to the next day. Go in the kitchen the next day, they mad they didn't get him in the unit. But you know what? As soon as he went up in that kitchen, they had another brother rushing. So he get into a scuffle in the kitchen, squabble it out, go to the hole. Once he goes to the hole, he already had told me, like, hey, look, it's a possibility they might try to try some on the yard. If I go down, this where I need this to go, send this to my son, blase blah. He explained everything he needed done. So when I went up there the next day, it was two Muslim brothers. It was my boy Jalil from Atlanta and another Muslim brother, Jalil. Knew I dealt with him. I'm like, hey, Jalil, you know I don't get in Muslim business. You know I messed with the guy, Ab God. This is some stuff he wanted me to do. Some stuff he wanted me to come grab, bro. You feel me? Jalil, like, I already know you wouldn't play like that for sure. He let me do what I needed to do, grab what needed to be done, sent it out. That was that. Ab God went up the road. They let the other brother, you know, who rushed him in the kitchen out. And said Ab God handle his business. It was funny. Shortly after this, I end up transferring. And I end up running into Ab God in Victorville in a holdover while I was on my way to Phoenix, Arizona. And he was on his way back up on the East Coast to New York. He had got at me. He was on his way to Brooklyn MDC, and you know, that thanked me and was like, hey man, you know, my son had got the mail and the pictures and all the little get down. And you know, that was just like a little situation I had with the DC blacks, and I got put in a situation and I was used at the time. We gonna conclude this right there. It's your boy Young and Hefe. Don't care about number what the check say. Make sure you go ahead, like and subscribe, because it don't cost you nothing. Press that button, and if you ring that notification bell, I'll bring you mail.
Out the gate, on the regular, I sit back and observe the way most of you niggas fake fuck with each other. Low-key beefing about these hoes. I ain't gonna let a nigga fake fuck with me. So if a nigga tell you he don't fuck with me, it's because he can't fuck with me.